I told you I don't need medicine. You can't make me, yelled the 6-year-old boy, running away afraid. While young Jake Smith had escaped the hospital and headed right into the Murphy family's minivan and was now masquerading as Denny Murphy, the identical brother he didn't even know about, Quinn's son, Denny, was now high up in a luxurious penthouse, being mistaken for Jake Smith and being asked to take Jake's medicine. The man wielding the pill bottle, Fred Smith, had taken him home, thinking he was Jake. And while Denny had fun with it for a while, taking limos to a fancy penthouse and eating dinner made by a professional chef, now Denny felt like he was in over his head, especially since Fred was now trying to make him take medicine. "Jake," began Jake's father, Fred Smith. "We've talked about this. The medicine will calm you down and help you go to sleep a little bit easier." "I don't need it. There's nothing wrong with me. You even told the mean lady the same thing before you sent her away." "That mean lady," answered Fred, "is your mother. I'm sorry you heard our argument. That's not fair to you. But this medicine was prescribed for you by a doctor." "My mother's a doctor," said Denny, telling the absolute truth about the life of Denny Murphy. "What? Your mother isn't a doctor, and she isn't here. I'm here. And I want you to feel better, so just take the medicine, okay?" sighed Fred, addressing the boy he thought was his son, Jake. Fred was weary. Why did parenthood have to be so difficult? Fred loved his son, but these kinds of refusals sure got tiresome. "Fine, I will," said Denny, sick of arguing too. He realized that he could either just take the medicine or be forced to, and he didn't want to be forced. He walked back to the bed and accepted the medicine. The pill scraped his throat as it went down, but he held his little dog finger puppet in his hand and drifted off to a contented sleep within minutes. On the other side of town, Jake Smith continued his escapades as Denny Murphy. He had the time of his life eating chicken nuggets for the first time, even if he was confused about this other family having such a small house and no resident chef. Didn't everyone have their own chef? He really liked Chef Julian. He liked going into the kitchen and hearing the old man hum to himself as he sharpened his knives, cut vegetables as fast as the wind, and flipped his pots and pans around in a flash. There was always something to see in Chef Julian's kitchen. Nora Simpson, the Murphys' nanny, didn't seem to know any kitchen tricks. She had simply removed a bag of chicken nuggets from the freezer and toasted them in a small toaster oven. Jake couldn't believe how peculiar this was. "Nanny," said Jake, "aren't you going to chop anything really fast with your kitchen knives or do any cool tricks with your frying pan?" Sammy Murphy, Denny's sister, laughed at this. "Isn't there anything for me to stir or taste?" Jake continued with disappointment. Began Nora, thrown by the boy calling her nanny instead of Nora. "No, I'm not going to flip frying pans around. That's not safe. I could drop them and hurt somebody or break the pan. Just eat your dinner, mister. You know we have an important day tomorrow. We're going to see about finding you and your sister a nice new school." "I liked our old school," said Sammy sadly. "I miss my friends. I miss the parks. I miss the red telephone boxes." "Aw, honey," said her mother, Dr. Quinn Murphy, who had just appeared in the doorway after changing out of her work clothes. "I know it's hard moving to a new place, but I promise you'll make new friends. We can go to Central Park and you'll see all kinds of exciting things that are way better than red telephone boxes." "Do you mean it?" asked the girl a little skeptically, warming Quinn's heart. "Absolutely," said Quinn. "And tomorrow, we are visiting a great new school to see how you like it. I know they have a dance studio and art classes, and maybe you can even learn a musical instrument. Would you like that?" "I want to play the drums," said Jake. "Too loud, sweetie. I think the neighbors would prefer it if you chose a different instrument. I know I certainly would. So, no drums, no trumpet, no bagpipes." "Aw," said Jake. Quinn started to tickle the boy, and he laughed. Soon, she was in a tickle fight with both children. "You're the best mom I ever had," said Jake as the laughter died down. "Why, thank you, honey. I love you too," Quinn replied, her heart swelling with love for her children. But momentarily thinking again about the boy at the hospital, Jake Smith, and the possibility of him somehow being her long-lost firstborn triplet. What would Denny and Sammy say if they knew they had a brother? Quinn forced her mind back to more important matters. "Right. It's bath time, you two. You're first up, Denny," she said. The children grumbled but made their way upstairs as Nora cleaned up after dinner. Quinn started the water running and helped the children pick out clean pajamas. Jake liked Denny's pajamas better than his own. Back home, Jake's pajamas were matching sets and shiny material with cursive letters embroidered on them in gold. They were boring. These pajamas were blue, had footies and a big long zipper, and had pictures of dinosaurs all over them. Jake decided that whenever he got home, he would ask his dad for some pajamas with dinosaurs on them. They looked so comfortable. Jake couldn't wait to wear them. "You know the drill, sonny boy," said Quinn, turning off the bath water. "Clothes off and get in the tub. I'll be right back with your towel. I need to check that your sister is getting ready to jump in." "Okay, Mom," Jake said, thinking about how comfortable it felt to call Quinn that. As Quinn left the room to make sure that Sammy was getting ready for the bath she'd be taking right after her brother, Quinn smiled at Jake and shut the door as he took his shirt off. Had Quinn stayed in the bathroom for just 5 seconds longer, she would have noticed the birthmark on Jake's lower back and known immediately that he was not Denny. Jake slipped into the warm water, wondering how much longer he could keep up this charade.
Hi, Quinn here, and if you're wondering what happens next, click on the link in the description to listen to the full audio series. You can also watch the next episode here in the playlist.